Despite us just kicking off the Euros, we are still in the transfer window, and we have the duty of keeping you all up to date. In today's video, we'll discuss some Celtic transfer news, whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to cover in today's video. And hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we do get into today's video, as always, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Former Celtic winger Scott Sinclair is set to prolong his playing career for another year, as he looks set to sign a new contract at Bristol Rovers. The 35-year-old was signed by Brendan Rodgers during his first spell in Glasgow, and was a huge success. Sinclair played a key role during the Invincible season, scoring 25 goals and setting up another 10 in 50 appearances in all competitions. The Englishman was a fan favourite in Glasgow and endeared himself to the support with some memorable moments in his early Celtic days. Indeed, Sinclair netted a late winner at Tynecastle not long after signing for the boys, with him then scoring in an unforgettable 5-1 Glasgow derby triumph a few weeks later. His career was rejuvenated by Rodgers, and now looks set to go on despite his respectable age. According to Bristol Live, Sinclair will pen a new one-year deal in Bristol. His experience and outstanding CV make him a key upholder for high standards with Rovers. In the latter stage of the season gone by, he returned to Matt Taylor's lineup after being frozen out for the majority of the campaign. Sinclair scored twice in 16 games and a new deal, which for Celtic fans is pleasing to see. While Brendan Rodgers wants to bolster his squad this summer, he also remains keen to secure the long-term futures of some Celtic youngsters, Rocco Vata being one. The teenage attacker was handed a few first-team opportunities this season, and bagged his maiden senior goal against Bucky Thistle in the Scottish Cup. With his Parkhead contract expiring this summer though, Vata's future remains up in the air. He has yet to commit to any club despite having several options on the table. Indeed, his father Rudy, who had a short 3-year stint at Celtic in the 90s, has detailed the extent of interest in his son. Rocket is a very unique boy, he said. He has 15 offers from 15 different clubs, and he still has not decided where he wants to continue with his future. He is analysing his options. He was born with freedom, Rocco, and he chose to become a footballer. As his dad, I only tried to keep him right. There are no less than 7 or 8 Serie A clubs who have shown interest in Rocco, but he needs to keep going and keep working. At 19, Vata remains tender, but he will likely want guarantees of first-team football wherever he goes next. He played only twice for Rodgers in the campaign gone by, despite impressing for Celtic B throughout, where he scored 12 goals in 15 Lowland League appearances. Taking his time over decision, the champions can only wait and see whether Vata decides to stay in Glasgow and continue his development at Lennox Town, or seek a fresh opportunity elsewhere. The summer transfer window officially opened yesterday, with clubs up and down Scotland eager to strengthen their squads for the new season. At Celtic, there are several areas of the team which need to be addressed, midfield being one. A permanent deal for Paolo Bernardo remains in the works, but according to Sky Sports, the Hoops are also ramping up efforts to sign Dundee man Luke McCowan. The 26-year-old is in the last year of his contract at Dens Park, having stood out in the season gone by. Doherty's side secured a surprise top 6 finish, with McCowan key to a lot of what they did. From midfield, a record of 10 goals and 5 assists in 37 league games for a team like Dundee has to be commended. A key leader for his side, McCowan wore the armband for the D several times in the 2023-24 campaign, and particularly caught the eye when the champions visited the North East just after the split. He would count towards Celtic's homegrown quota for Europe, and likely prove to be a reliable squad option. Let's see how this one develops over the next few weeks and months. There have been several notable transfer near misses involving Celtic over the past few years. Ivan Toney sticks out as one, along with recent Europa League final hat-trick hero Ademola Lookman, but now another has emerged, John O'Shea. The Irish defender, who played just under 400 times for Manchester United, winning 5 Premier League titles, 2 English League Cups, an FA Cup and the Champions League, could have signed for the Hoops back in the late 1990s. According to Jim Goodwin, O'Shea was set to join the Scottish champions alongside him until Sir Alex Ferguson intervened. John was geared up to come to Celtic with me, but Sir Alex Ferguson turned up on his door in Waterford completely out of the blue, he said. His father nearly had a heart attack when he opened the door. He convinced John to go to Manchester United instead of Celtic. From the moment Ferguson intervened, the rest is history. O'Shea's compatriot, Goodwin, never made it to Glasgow, having registered just a solitary senior appearance, but one wonders what the interim island boss could have conjured up had events unfolded differently. A great at United, the now 43-year-old did play against the Hoops a few times in the Champions League. Back in 2006, he was involved at both Old Trafford and Parkhead, where Shunzi Nakamura scored 2 iconic free kicks. He could have easily been on the same team as the Japanese midfielder had the legendary Sir Alex never intervened, but instead joined the long list of what might have been at Celtic. Scotland's Euro 2024 campaign couldn't have got off to a worse start than last night. The Tartan army were left bemused in Munich as Germany ran riot in a dominant 5-1 victory. 2 Celts, Callum McGregor and Anthony Ralston, were named in the starter lineup by Steve Clarke. Like their teammates, both were subpar and couldn't get into the game, but at least they kept their discipline, unlike Ryan Porteous. The former Hibs centre-half dived into a challenge inside the 6-yard box just before half-time last night. His tackle used excessive force and endangered the safety of his opponent, meaning he was sent off. The hosts also got a penalty from the incident, which Kai Havertz converted. Porteous became the first Scotland player to see red at a major tournament since ex-Celtic midfielder Craig Burley did back in 1998. After a horror start to the Euros, things must improve for Scotland next week. Games against Switzerland first and then Hungary will undoubtedly be difficult. There is nothing to say the national team cannot get 4 points on the board and make history. As the summer begins, hopes are high among Celtic fans over what business the club will do over the coming weeks and months. There are several areas of the team which need strengthening, most notably between the sticks. Joe Hart's retirement has given Brendan Rodgers an almighty headache this summer, with the Parkhead gaffer on the hunt for a new number 1. Several names have already been mentioned in the Hoops' search for a new stopper, but one that has got fans particularly excited is Cameron Kelleher. The Ireland internationalist could leave Liverpool this summer, and while he will be a tremendous signing at Celtic, Chris Sutton simply doesn't think a move will transpire. A lot of fans would love to see Liverpool's Kelleher, but I can't see that one happening, unless it's some kind of loan deal, he said. Kelleher is highly regarded at Anfield, and even if he was allowed to leave, there would be a queue of Premier League clubs ready to throw money at him. Sutton is only really confirming what the majority of supporters know. The 25-year-old is an ambitious target, and perhaps players like Martin Dubravka and Peter Vindel-Henson are more realistic options. Each has been concretely linked over the past weeks as the boys continually scour the market to find the ideal Hart successor. Celtic fans, what do you make of what we discussed in today's video? In particular, what are your thoughts on Luke McGowan? And is he a player you'd like to see us sign this summer? Yes or no? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. That does bring us to the end of today's video, guys. As always, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you, take care, bye bye.